All right, let's talk about Rust. I want to start out by saying I am literally the biggest Rust fanboy in the world. I've been playing Rust since you picked the graphics before you started playing the actual game. So if anyone has anything to say about Rust that's valid, I promise I think I'm one of them. I think we live in a weird time where if you say anything bad about someone's favorite game, they act like you just said something horrible about like their mother. But I think that breeds for bad companies and bad games. So I think we should start normalizing saying what's actually on your mind and the problems you have with your favorite game. I think when we don't talk, we get games like Call of Duty, where every year they come out and we're perpetually disappointed, and then they just keep doing it. If I keep buying cases in Counter-Strike every single year, they have no incentive to make Counter-Strike better. If I buy the new Call of Duty every single year or the new Pokemon every year, why would they make it better? You're buying it. Although that is a completely separate video that will probably be made at some point. I think currently Rust has 3 major problems in my eyes. I don't think it's fun to be like, the game looks outdated or it runs like shit, because I don't know, everyone fucking knows that. I think I've talked about this on stream like 10 or 15 times, and over all these times I've talked about it and I've ranted about it, I think I've boiled it down to 3 that I feel comfortable voicing. I think the first one is problems with exploration and incentive to do different things. The second one would be combat becoming really stale. And then the third one being the problem we've all talked about, even people with 5 hours in this game, and that's solos don't have a chance, and it seems like they buff groups every single chance they get. Let's start with exploration. At the current point, I see no reason to take any risk or do anything. I think the tech tree was the worst idea and the best idea for this game at the same time. I think when you have so many different items in your game, it's impossible to think that we would just get it how we used to. But there needs to be a middle ground. I know people like my fiance are new to Rust, and she's not great at PvP. Why would she have to leave her 1 grid space near her base? There's a road, there's a recycler, and she could just tech tree absolutely everything she needs. There's no more, man, I just ran launch site and got an AK out of an elite crate, I have to get this home. Now it's, oh, well, we're already halfway down the tier 3 tech tree, so if we lose this, no biggie, I guess. I think half of the fun of Rust is the risk. I've been a really big DayZ player since really before I started playing Rust. And I think the big thing that DayZ does perfectly is they make everything matter. Man, I just ran 2 hours, got the rarest gun in the game, and it could end in 1 second and I'll never get it back. And I think there was a point where Rust did feel that way a little bit. I was worried to lose a gun. I was worried to make a mistake and delete progress. Now the only thing I'm really worried about is getting offline rated. Now, I've never made a video essay and I always wanted to. I've been a huge fan of them for years and years. And the one thing I see that I don't love with at least 60% of them that I watch is they don't give a solution. So I like kind of have a solution, I guess. I think the easy thing to do would be to get rid of the tech tree. I, 1, don't think that's a great idea, and 2, think we're maybe a little too deep in the game to do that. My solution would be bring back experimentation. I thought that was such a good and fun idea. Although I don't think it was a perfect system, I don't think there's anything wrong with giving the player the option. If I really like to grind scrap, although I think scrap in itself is literally the most boring idea in the world, I actually kind of have a video planned for that as well. But if I do like grinding scrap, then I don't know, let me go through all of them. Who cares? But I think being able to absolutely ignore everything and just go straight for a revolver or straight for an AK or straight for a SAR right off the bat without even leaving my 2 grids, I think that maybe it makes it a little too streamlined, if that makes sense. I think this would bring back the incentive of, holy shit, I just found a python in a military crate. I need to get this home right now. I don't want to have to go through 1,000 scrap experimenting on the tier 2 tech tree. I think honestly, the other good idea would just be to make more official servers that are incentivized to join that just don't have it anymore. Maybe even have it in the title. Rusty Moose, US main, no tech tree. I think stuff like that would just, I know me personally, I would see that and I would want to join. I think it makes for a more hardcore experience. I think there are servers that have this in the title, and there are servers that say this already. So I don't know why more popular official servers don't try it. I mean, I'm probably not going to join William's duo no tech tree that has 10 people after the first 8 hours and still find enjoyment in that. But if Rusty Moose or Rustified decided that they wanted to make a no tech tree server, you really think no one would join? This is also coming from a guy where I have 4,000 hours. I have the Rust logo tattooed on my arm. I am very much a farmer, and I like it. I'm at least on a good day above average at PvP. Being able to bring back that incentive of being able to go out and farm if I wanted to, but also, holy shit, I just found this. I need to get home, and that stress, it's just not there anymore. My second point is combat. I mean, man, we can all sit here and say taking away the recoil patterns ruined the game. I think it made it a little easier to be in combat. I think it made combat feel a little more vanilla. I know, coming from a lifelong Counter-Strike player, I've spent probably 4,000 hours of my life learning recoil patterns of that game since I was, 6 years old. So taking that out, I think definitely took the skill ceiling out, but I definitely find myself dying more often than I used to. I think it makes it easier for people to get into, but I also think it makes it easier for better players to just completely dominate. I think if we're looking past that and just saying, not only is this easy, but it's kind of fucking boring. In Counter-Strike and old Rust, it's like, okay, the first 10 bullets are going straight down, and then it's going to go to the left, and then it's going to 45 degrees back up to the right, and then end back in the middle. But now I'm pulling down to the left a little bit. I don't know, kind of fucking boring. One thing that I know people are going to say something about, I do not like the barricades, at least where they're at. I think barricades, as I am making this, I watched a video before I recorded this. Barricades are getting nerfed, and it looks like they're getting nerfed quite a bit. I just don't know if it's enough. How many times have you felt like you really had the drop on somebody? You shot them one time and they turned around and put down 4 barricades. My friend group and I literally call the barricades Fortnites. I was having a conversation with a friend today about League and Valorant and just talking about, yeah, there are ways to combat these things. There's a way to combat barricades. I could throw frags. Now they're going to have really low HP, so I can just shoot them out. But is that fun? Is characters in League of Legends where I have a team that all of them focus on stuns? And yeah, there's ways to play against that. But are stuns fun? In my humble opinion, I think barricades are just not a fun mechanic to play around. I think the solution for me would to make them take like a beat or two to place. I think that if you had it so I could turn around and you could maybe get one more shot in before I placed it down, might honestly solve it. I think they're going down to 20 HP. The stack size is being reduced to 3 or something like that. So I think all of those things combined would make them viable, but not if I don't have Fortnites, I'm literally screwed. Because right now I don't even care about my position, because unless I'm next to a building privilege, I'll just throw down 5 barricades and I'll be completely fine. My other thing was med sticks. I feel like med sticks are maybe a little too quick and easy to get off. I feel like in Rust, a med stick is such a unique item to this game. It was something where instead of my Rust logo tattoo, that was going to be the other one I wanted. I feel like Rust has a very unique way of going about their healing system. I just, again, think it might be a little too fast. I think Rust is kind of gravitated towards more of an arcadey combat system, but I think if you slowed everything down just a hair, that it would be frustrating enough to where I'm having to cautiously think more about what I'm doing. If I can say I have 4 med sticks on me, I'm running through a field. If I get shot, I'll place 5 barricades down and spam 4 meds, and I'm ready to peak full HP again. That's kind of a boring way to play. But if I maybe had something where if I used 1 med stick, I got the shakes for like 5 seconds. And then if I used 2, I got the double shakes for 7 seconds. And then that just kept multiplying. And then eventually there was a cap of some sort. I think that would make you care a lot more about what you're doing. I think the moral of the story to all these issues that I'm having is it kind of deletes having to care. It deletes having to care about my positioning. It deletes having to care about if I'm max health or not, because if I can just spam 6 meds and I can just throw down 8 barricades, then who cares where I'm at? This last one is easily the one I struggled the most with having solutions for. With all of these solutions, these are more me talking about a problem and then spitballing ideas. These are for sure not end all be alls. And I know somebody is going to say something in the comments about this being a stupid idea or that being a stupid idea. Once again, I really am just spitballing. So for this one, I struggled with the most, but I think I have some good ideas. Oh my God. I think you really can tie everything I've said into nerfing solos, into buffing clans. I think the thing they did with the you can join your team in the main menu and join all at the same time was literally one of the worst ideas they've had in a very, very long time. I think this makes it so a clan can just spawn all together and say, okay, there's 30 of us, let's all go to water treatment, and now water treatment is ours for the whole wipe within 10 minutes. I think that kind of stuff can really kill solos, especially solos that this isn't the only game they play. I know I'm a streamer. I'm a variety streamer. I play all sorts of different games. If I don't play Rust for a wipe, I come back and I'm garbage. And that's just the beauty of playing a bunch of different games. But from somebody who really wants a challenging experience, but I don't want the challenging experience to be, I'm just completely overwhelmed by bodies. And if some people like that, I think that's totally cool. The thrill of winning a 1v2 or a 1v3 is unmatched. This game has very satisfying feelings when you do things like that. When I can overcome a big group, you're very satisfied. I'm just saying, if we want to protect new players and we also want to make it fair but still challenging for old players, I think there are certain things you can do. I think without completely ruining combat or ruining a party system or doing something like that, besides, I think being able to spawn in the same spot as your party members is a horrible idea in a game like this. But let's just take that out of the equation. If we are talking strictly about nerfing a clan and buffing a solo, the more people that are on your tool cupboard, your upkeep's multiplied. Once you hit a threshold of 5, it's multiplied again. Once you get a threshold of 15, it's multiplied again. And then most people, I'm sure, are going to come at me and say, well, then I just won't be on the tool cupboard. Okay, well then make it so if you're not on the tool cupboard, you get shot by every turret, not just flame turrets and shotgun turrets, but you're also getting shot by auto turrets. So now I have to authorize my friend on the auto turret and they have to be authorized on the tool cupboard. But if that tool cupboard has had that many people on it, that tool cupboard will forever have more upkeep on it all the time. I think that would make it so the solo doesn't have to go out and farm as much as the clan does. If the clan has a 3-layer multi-TC base and they've spread their loot out and their upkeep out between 4 tool cupboards, that's cool. And there is an element of that where you're saying, because you were smart and you built a smart base, you should get a reward for that. But also, if I'm rolling 30 deep, I don't think it's fair to say your upkeep is going to be just as much as that trio that has some Nini Rust base they found online. I think that would be one. I think having them in a group system, and hey, if you're in a group system or if you're on the cupboard, then your research cost is more. Or if, you know, my AK was 50 high quality to make, then yours is 75. And once you have 30 people in your group, it's 80. I don't know. Once again, spitballing ideas, but I think those are the 2 things that I thought would be the best. And of course, there are ways around this. Cool. Well, I'll just find different ways to wall stack so I don't have to build turrets. Okay, well, if I can't be in a group, we just fucking won't be in a group. I understand there's always going to be ways around things, but I think that if I'm rolling 30 deep or 15 deep or 20 deep, I don't see there being anything wrong with making life a bit more challenging for you. If a solo can farm up enough to craft an AK, or a solo can farm up enough for a tier 3, and the tier 3 is 100 high quality, 1,000 metal frags, and 1,250 scrap, then why can't a 30-man double that and get it? If anything, for me, this is more an opportunity to get a game that I love that I'm not a pro in. And I'm not a Rust only streamer or a Rust only YouTuber. And this isn't the only game I play. I'm a full-time student, I'm a full-time bartender, and I'm a full-time variety streamer. This is just a game that I have a lot of love for. And I see ways where it could be more fun for other people to play and for myself to play and clans to play. I think there would be ways where you can make it fun for everybody. I think it's so important to have open dialogue about things that you love, and I can still love Rust, but dislike some aspects about it. I know I'm filming this at 3 a.m. in the morning, going to the gym early so that me and my friend can hop on a bi-weekly wipe in the morning. I'm not streaming it, I'm not recording it, just love for the game. So I can tell you from my heart of hearts, Rust is one of my favorite games in the world, and I love it to death. But I think if we have issues with something we love just because we love it and there's other aspects about it that we really enjoy, we shouldn't keep our mouths shut. I want to thank you all for coming to my first video essay. I know it was kind of sloppy. I didn't really know what gameplay to put in the background. I didn't really know the format or the way in which I wanted to do it. I can tell you that I'm really raunchy and I'm not really put together, and I drink a lot. And you can come to Twitch and see it live instead of seeing me try my best to have myself put together. So thank you guys so much for watching all through the end. Please have any comments you would like down below, and I would love to read what you guys have to say.